say over and over and over again that consistency and routines are going to be the key to having a successful bedtime. Now, as your baby grows older, you are going to realize that toddler routines can be very different than newborn and baby routines. The number one difference here is that you want your toddler to be in charge of making as many choices as possible. Yes, that's right. I just said that you want your child to be in control of making choices. But before we jump into the bedtime routine that I'm going to suggest for you and your toddler, let's first look at the bedroom environment for a toddler. Here are some things you want to make sure you have in your child's room. You want to make sure that you have a toddler clock. Now, this can be any brand that you prefer. A lot of people really love the Hatch, but I prefer the My Tot clock. The reason why I love this clock, actually I could send you over to watch this entire video that I have about the Tot clock, but I love this clock for so many reasons. It has many, many different functions, and you can set different times for bedtime, for nap times, for encouragement time, which I like to use for reading time or cleaning their room, and it also has a timeout button, which I like to call it break time. All of this said, this Tot clock also has a bedtime story as well as bedtime songs and white noise. The only thing I don't love about this clock is the white noise feature, because it does have a looping white noise feature, and so instead of using that white noise, which you can actually turn off, I will use all of the other features and then have it stop at the white noise, have the light just stay blue overnight, and use an actual true white noise machine. That is a topic for another day, so let's move on. You also want to make sure that your toddler's room is blacked out. Now, sometime around 2.5 years old, your child may start suggesting that they're scared of the dark, and it's totally okay. You can either encourage your child that the light on their toddler clock is a nightlight, or you can invest in another nightlight. Now, my one recommendation with nightlights in a toddler's room is that you want that light to be red. Red is a non-stimulating color that is going to allow your child's brain to actually sleep and restore and be ready for the next day. Any other color is actually activating your child's brain and keeping it awake, so they're actually not getting as restorative of sleep as they would if they were having a red or no night light. Another thing you want in your child's room is bedtime routine cards. Now, as I've already said, routine is going to be so important. If you have a visual routine for your child, then they are going to have an actual visual template to see what they need to do in what order every single night. The one thing that I will recommend with my bedtime routine cards is that you should start with 3 to 5 routine cards depending on how old your child is. I always say to start using these cards around the time your child is 2. Even though they will not understand everything off the bat, they will start to understand. And by the time they're 2.5 and really communicating a lot more, they should really be in the routine of following their bedtime routine cards. I also want you to try to laminate these bedtime routine cards and have them at your child's eye level. Now, whether that means that you take them out and put them away every night, or if you have them taped up on the wall, just have them somewhere that your child can reach them and touch to them and point when they are done with one. A lot of people like to make these interactive and have the child flip them over or cover up an activity as soon as it is done, but either way, as long as your child has these cards within reach so that they are right at their eyesight, they are going to love them. One more thing that you definitely want to have is a reward chart and or a reward system. This is definitely something that we can talk about in more detail in another video, because there are so many ways to reward positive behavior, but having at least some sort of basic reward chart is going to be a great help in this process. So every single night, this is what your bedtime routine should look like. Of course, you can vary it up a little bit, but along the lines of this. Let's jump into it. The first thing you want to do is have a bath. Now, if you don't do bath every single night, then don't have this be part of your bedtime routine. But a lot of parents like to have the bath as their bedtime routine because A, your child probably got filthy dirty during the day, and B, your child probably has spaghetti sauce all over their face and body and hands, and you probably need to give them a bath anyways because #toddler life. Let your child play and splash around in the bathtub and let them get out their energy. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is obviously get your child out of the tub and dry them off, get their pajamas on. Now, something really calming and soothing for a lot of kids is some sort of lotion massage. Either put on lotion, or some parents like to use oils at bedtime, whatever you prefer with your child, but I highly recommend some sort of lotion massage with your child to really pull that energy out of their body. Something that I learned in my early childhood classes in college is that when you are doing these lotion massages, you want to start at the center and work your way out. So you're really like pulling out the energy out of their body. So when you start at their shoulder, you want to rub all the way through their fingertips, and you are throwing the energy away for the next day. That is just one quick little tip that I learned about massaging young kids, but there are so many resources out there for infant and toddler massage. The next thing that you need to do is all of those responsibility things that your child needs to do before bed. So brush their hair, brush their teeth, clean out their ears, because you always want to make sure that their listening ears are clean. Make this kind of fun and engaging for your child. You know, get the Q-tip or whatever you're using. I know like some people don't use Q-tips anymore, but I do. So I will put the Q-tip in my kids' ears and I say, hang on, I gotta make sure all your listening ears are ready for tomorrow. Let's check the other one. Uh-oh, I see some wax in there. We gotta get it out so your listening ears are working. It's totally cheesy, but toddlers love cheesy. The cheesier you are, the better it is. I'm gonna throw this tidbit in there because my kids hate getting their nails cut, but I always tell them that after a bath is the best time to have their nails cut, which we will do on Sunday evenings. And I know that's like TMI, a lot of information, probably like irrelevant, but when you are cutting your children's nails, do it after bath time, because the water in the shower is going to soften their nails. It's going to make it easier for them to get their nails cut. So you can always tell them that the bath water makes their nails softer, so it's easier for them to get their nails cut. And it's just like, tell them the truth. Like, that is the way it is. All right, so once all of those things are done in the bathroom, you are moving back to the bedroom and you are going to sit down and read books with your child. Now, with younger toddlers, if you are reading those simple little board books, you can pick 2 or 3 books. But what I want you to do is have your child pick those books. They can be different books every night. They can be the same books every night. Whatever your child picks, allow your child to pick those books. Once your child gets older, you are going to want to make sure that you are only allowing 1 book, because those books can get really long and your child is going to start catching on when you try and paraphrase pages, skip pages, or all the things. So make sure that you're limiting to 1 book once your child is at the age where those books are getting a little bit longer. The next step in your bedtime routine is my personal favorite. I will say that when you are done reading the books, have your child turn off the light and then have them get in bed, and this is your time to cuddle. So if your child is still in a crib, this can be done in a rocking chair. If your child is in their bed, you can sit next to their bed, you can lay in their bed, you can do whatever is comfortable for you and your child, but this is the time to cuddle your child. It is my favorite time of the day because having 3 kids, life gets really busy and I don't get that one-on-one time with the kids every single day. So having this time with them at bedtime is very special to me. This is the time of day where my kids are really talking. They are telling me about their day. They're telling me about their favorite parts of the day, their least favorite parts of the day, and what they might want to do tomorrow. So this is a really special time to really just have those one-on-one conversations with your kids. And it's also a time to explore their imaginations, let them tell you what they want to be when they grow up, what their dreams are, what they want to dream about that night. It's really cute when you start talking to little kids about dreams and when they're sleeping and dreaming, because they don't really understand the concept of dreaming. So when you talk to them about like, what do you want to dream about tonight? And they'll tell you all of these cute, funny, crazy stories. It's such a fun little time with toddlers. I love the toddler age for this specific reason. They are really starting to talk and communicate, and it's really, really fun to hear their stories. So definitely use this bonding time to not only bond with your child, but to experience the world through their eyes. Once you have cuddled for a good 5 to 10 minutes, then it's time to say goodnight and it's time to walk out of the room. Now your job is done for the bedtime routine. It is not your job to sit there in your child's room until he or she falls asleep. It's not your job to hold your child's hand until he or she falls asleep. It is not your job to rock your kid to sleep and then transfer into the crib or lay in your child's bed until they fall asleep. Your child has had everything that they need from you before when you've done all of the items in your bedtime routine. Now it's time for them to do the work and put themselves to sleep. A few extra things that I wanted to note real quick is that your bedtime routine should be a time for connection and engagement with your child. This is your time of day to wind down and have that one-on-one connection with your toddler. This is like your face-to-face time before saying goodnight, I'll see you in the morning. So make sure that you are doing something calm and engaging, but make sure that you're allowing your child to make choices. Let your child choose which pajamas do they want to wear. Do they want to brush their teeth first, or do they want you to brush their teeth first? Who's going to brush their hair first, them or you? Either way, you are giving them these choices. If you have a child who is potty training or already potty trained, you want to make sure that they're really only having like a teensy bit of water before bed. Let them have like 1 to 3 ounces of water in those little tiny Dixie cups that you can get for their bathroom. And also make sure that they are having a trip to the bathroom before they get into bed. So once you're meeting all of these needs, then you know that your child is ready for bed and there is nothing else that they could tell you that they need for the night. If your child is not super into reading books, you could always limit it to just one book, but you could also do puzzles. You could also read interactive books that may be funny or maybe calming. So maybe some comical books that are interactive. There's like a really cute one. I can't remember the name of it. I'll pop it up here if I find it. But it's like press the button, turn the page, like all the things. It's super cute. But there's tons of books like that. And then there's also books that have bedtime yoga in it, and I'll put that one right here too. I love little bedtime yoga books. They're super interactive and getting some wiggles out before your child goes to bed. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave me a comment down below and tell me about your favorite part of your bedtime routine with your toddler. And if you don't have them yet, make sure that you click the link in the description box to download my free bedtime routine cards. These actually also come with morning routine cards. So not only can your child end the day on a positive note with their bedtime routine cards where they can easily access them, but they can wake up in the morning and do the same exact thing. I love these cards. My kids love these cards. My kids' friends love these cards. And all of my previous clients who have these cards love these cards. So make sure you download them. If you do end up using my bedtime routine cards, I would love to see them in action. Please tag me on social media and let me see you guys using your bedtime routine cards. Hope that you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Click the bell so you get notified every time I put out a new video. And while you're waiting for my next video, check out these videos over here and keep blooming. Bye.